Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It is a weird, late, super late, early. If you're somewhere early, it might be early for you, show. Good to see you. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hey, Eric. Yeah, good morning to you, my mate. How are you? It's good to have you. Laura T. Yeah, say hi to Eric. Sienna. Hey, how are you? 2:34 a.m. That is very early. Gambler. Good to see you, buddy. Laura T. I don't know how many people we're gonna have, but I decided to come back on because we have more stories, including from Australia. Bees are live. Hello, good to see you. More stories. So, New York City has a manhunt. Well, so does Australia. Australia had one this afternoon after several explosions and fires in Gosford in New South Wales. They're looking and searching for their own manhunt. So I don't know exactly who he is because otherwise it wouldn't be a manhunt. But I'll show you the video and then I'll show you some CCTV. Here we go.
Dozens of staff stream out of this legal aid office in Gosford. Moments earlier, police say a man entered the building, allegedly lit a fire and fled the scene.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like there was cop cars and fire trucks lined up and down all the streets.
A short time later, several explosions rang out at these legal offices down the road. Witnesses reported seeing someone throw an incendiary device inside.
You wouldn't think that this is your average Thursday in Gosford, that's for sure.
It's definitely crazy, not something that you'd expect. But also it's sort of, I guess it comes with the territory of courthouses and lawyers and all the rest of it in the area.
A police operation was also underway at the nearby Gosford Uniting Church. A 54-year-old man was treated by paramedics for smoke inhalation. No other injuries were reported from any of the incidents.
Living in the next suburb, it is very, very scary considering my kids grow up here too.
Detectives are searching for a man who was seen in the area at the time of the explosions. He's believed to be in his 60s, described as being of short and chubby build. Sean Turritt-Goodwin, ABC News, Gosford.
Very descriptive, right? A very short but chubby man. That might describe about 50% of the men on Earth, but sure. Let me show you what the Daily Mail has. The desperate manhunt underway as cops release CCTV image of mask-clad man after firebombing attack on legal aid building sparked chaos in Gosford. So this is the guy. Here he is, Mr. Incendiary Device Guy. That's what I'm calling him. Incendiary device. That's apparently what he had. You can see him here. He has something in his hands that looks like a water bottle. That looks like a bottle that probably has petrol, gasoline, something in it. And he probably lit it and threw it into the building. Now, one of the buildings he attacked, like you saw in the video, was a place called Legal Aid. Now, what is legal aid if you don't have it in your country? It is a place where you get legal representation when you can't afford it. So if you can't afford a lawyer and you've been charged with a crime or you have some sort of court issue, you can get help from the government through legal aid. So they'll appoint a lawyer or public, sort of like in America where you get a public defender. Very similar. Molotov, yeah, that is incendiary device is what they call it. He definitely looks like he has one in his hand, and he's wearing a face diaper here, and he's wearing a hat, obviously trying to blend in with the young kids by wearing a bowl cap. He's like, if I wear a baseball cap, people will mistake my age for 15. And I think that's probably what's going on here. He's trying to blend in with the young, hip children. Let's have a look. What else do they say? Oh, you can see the cops running. They must have seen that from action movies. They're like, look, in dangerous situations, we should run. And that's what they're doing. Let's see what else are. Just more of them. There's some more people in the blue. There's a guy laughing. He's like, did you see that? It was a huge explosion and a lot of fire. And he's like, yeah. I can't wait till we get out of here so we can have a beer. And he's like, yeah, too right. Bloody Friday. It's hot up here. Yeah, so it seems like they are searching for that guy. Why he did this, I don't know. Maybe he lost a court battle. They said it took more than 40 firefighters and 11 trucks to put this all to rest. And Legal Aid New South Wales put out a statement Thursday night. And what did they say? Here, Legal Aid New South Wales Gosford office has been temporarily shut and all staff evacuated following an explosion that caused a small fire in the reception. Fire and Rescue New South Wales extinguished the fire. None of our staff or clients have been injured. Inquiries are continuing and police are investigating. They say a postman told the Daily Telegraph he saw police running through nearby Kibble Park as if they were chasing someone. Well, they were either chasing someone or they weren't chasing someone. So which one is it? were they practicing their chasing of people, or were they actually doing that? You can't be one or the other, especially if you're a cop. You can't be like, "Hey, I'm just practicing in case we find a real offender. I want to make sure I've got my, my running down pat. I want to make sure I can do it." So we're just we're not actually chasing anyone. We're just practicing. Let's see. I want to see if the Daily Telegraph has anything. Okay, they do. They say police have released a CCTV image of a man as they probe explosions and a fire at a legal aid and law firm in Gosford CBD, with a witness saying one fire was caused by an incendiary device. So there we go. There's that word again. Let's have a look. They describe the image of a chubby man. Could you imagine if that was a woman and we all went, at people of Australia and Gosford, this afternoon there was a fire caused by an incendiary device and we're looking for a very chubby woman. Have you seen her? She's quite round in appearance, may look fat to some people, and sort of chubby. Can you imagine if we said that about a woman? I don't think they would like that. I don't think anyone's going to be making that announcement. Hey, Tara. You can barely see. Hey, Jojo. It's good to see you guys. I find the explanations between male and female very funny. I wonder what they would say if it was a female. They'd probably say, we're searching for a female with a slightly larger than average build who, is a short type of woman. They'd probably be very soft on their language. They're saying here one of the partners that works at the law firm said he was working in his office inside the building when someone threw an incendiary device into their office. He said, "We ran for our lives." I would too. They say dozens of police officers, detectives, and New South Wales fire and rescue crews remain on scene, with Donaldson Street closed between Mann Street and Henry Parry Drive. They say they came for reports of an explosion. So I think we've got that down. Don't you love when they don't have any information? They just try and reword it like 50 ways. They're like, we have an explosion, and someone later says, we have a fire that may have been caused by combustion materials that may have caused an explosion. So that's like how they word it. They just change their wording. Hey, Tara. Oh, in the UK. Wendy R says chubby. They used to call it husky. They might have got confused with a dog. Everyone started looking for a dog. They're like, wait, I think I saw that down at the bar. A guy had one tied up outside. Is that who you're looking for? Are you looking for this husky? They say here, a short time after the second explosion, police arrested a man known to them who had a grievance with Gosford Courthouse. They took him to the Gosford police station. However, checks confirmed he was not nearby at the time of the explosions. So they actually already have a guy that is so well known to them that they're like, hey, I think that was Jimmy. What do you mean? That guy that keeps coming to the courthouse and yelling at people because, his missus divorced him like 20 years ago. And they're like, yeah, it probably was Jimmy. He's been threatening to do this for like a decade. Oh, we better go pay him a visit. And then they paid him a visit. And they're like, oh, he's like, oh, I was in Newcastle at the time. It couldn't have been me. And they're like, oh, damn. It wasn't Jimmy. Oh my God, we might actually have to investigate now. We might actually have to find him. If it wasn't Jimmy, who was it? They said here, a witness said people in the legal aid building heard a bang. That's how I would describe it. But there was construction work next door. Is that the same thing? You're like, honey, was that the construction next door? Or was that an incendiary device? I'm not sure. Should we go out and check? Oh, it's glowing yellow in the hallway. It wasn't the construction, it was definitely the incendiary device. They say firefighters and police were bringing stretchers down to legal aid building to assist a couple of disabled people who got stuck on the higher floors because a lift stopped working. They say, meanwhile, firefighters are struggling to clear copious amounts of smoke trapped on the levels 3 and 5 of the Kinsman building. Firefighters said smoke was trapped because various office doors were locked as people evacuated the building. Yes. So when you evacuate, you should make sure you lock all the doors so like Mark from finance can't get out. You just, that's what it says in the thing. It says make sure you lock all the doors behind you. And if Mark gets trapped, well, at least you are safe and you saved everyone else. So hey, Reby, how are you? Oh, you have to go to a hotel? Why do you have to go to a hotel? I'm out of COVID purgatory. I had to move to a hotel since Sunday as my mother came out of respite care. It's what I often have to do when I see my mother too. I'm like, hey, you can stay here, but I have to go to the hotel. Why? It's just the rules. Your mother-in-law or your mother comes to your home, you're just like, we can't be in the same place at the same time. It's one of those quantum physics problems, like if we're together, we might rip a hole in the universe. Wendy R says, I think they'd call it a boom. Must not have been so loud. Yes, a bang or a boom. That's right. You got to be quick when you're in a fire. Lock all the doors behind you. JS the cat says, hi Ping, catching alive again. Have been following the Gosford story. Did you hear about the chubby guy? Apparently he's quite chubby. Why is that the description? I don't know. Maybe because he is a little chubby. I can show you that photo again for everyone concerned. Here he is. Here he is. The guy with the with his water bottle full of flammable liquid. I don't know what he lit it with. Actually, on his hand, I don't know if you can see this, and I don't know if it's a shadow, but on his hand here, you can see like maybe he got burnt or it's some sort of, ash or soot from lighting the fire. His hand here looks quite bad too. I don't know if that is just shadow, but at least on his fingers, they look very dark on the inside, almost like he may have burnt himself practicing at home. There's something on his hand here too. I can't make it out because of the pixels, but there's something here on the top of his hand as well, and up on his forearm as well. Maybe it's just a shadow, but it doesn't look right. How old do you think this man is? He's got white hair, definitely got white hair, and he's a little portly. That's the word they should have used. He's a little portly. I don't know. He might be an older gentleman with an incendiary device. That's the description. 75 could be. Repeat offender. Well, he did But they did say multiple explosions, so maybe like a lot of old guys, they have to try a few times first, and then eventually it works. Reby says, I think it's a bum bag, or for the Americans, a fanny pack. I'm not going to call it that. We can call it something else. Let's see. Isn't that an ABBA song? It could be. It could be, Potter. It could be. I don't know if that is a fanny pack. Do you think it is? I don't know. He definitely... His shirt sits funny over here. I don't know what that is. Maybe he's wearing like a travel pack. You know, like when you go on holidays and you wear that thing around your waist so people don't steal your wallet and your passport. Maybe he's like, I need to keep all me petrol under my shirt so people don't catch on to my incendiary devices. That's right. They don't look bruised enough for 75. Let me see what else I got on Mr. Chubby Man. Let's see if we got anything else. That photo's a little better. I don't know what he's got. Here, check this out. He definitely has a bag or a backpack. Here. I don't know if that is a I don't know if that is a bum bag or whatever you want to call it. There's some sort of bag or something next to him here. Maybe he had a whole bag of them. Sort of like in Taken. He's like, I have to put my toolkit together. Have many skills, bring back my daughter. A golf bag full of bottles of incendiary. Sort of looks like a back brace. I mean, you have to throw those bottles pretty hard to get them through the windows. It could be. He's got old man boobies. I have old man boobies. I'm not allowed to show you on this channel. I told you all my bikini body has not been ready for summer. I need some more time. All right. I think that's all I have, really. There's been very few updates on this, which is a shame. There was some other information about this. A murder in Canberra. Yeah. Let's go to Caboolture. That's Queensland. Let's go to Caboolture.
He makes money selling second-hand goods.
I've got to meet people. Big day. Already sold a bit.
But now Gavin Rolls' business is at the centre of a murder probe after his stepfather, 60-year-old Mick Hegarty, was found dead in a caravan parked at a Caboolture storage facility.
The deceased man had allegedly been assaulted and moved into the caravan by another male person.
Police say Mick owned the caravan and the two men had been arguing over it for some time.
It was nothing major. We know that it was over something trivial, we believe.
Gavin posted an ad on Facebook to sell the vehicle just last month.
We understand the assault occurred outside of the caravan, and we know that both men were in that facility earlier Sunday morning.
Detectives believe the two men met at National Storage in Caboolture South Sunday morning. That's when the accused allegedly assaulted his stepfather around 10 o'clock, killing him and hiding his body in the caravan. He then fled Queensland, driving to Ballina. Meanwhile, the victim's partner called police when he didn't come home and she went to check on him. She discovered his body, with detectives arriving at 11:45 a.m. New South Wales police tracked Gavin Rolls down this morning at a motel.
There was certainly no domestic violence orders in place between the deceased and the person we believe responsible for this offence.
Gavin Rolls is facing one count of murder in the domestic violence offence, and he'll face a magistrate here in Caboolture tomorrow morning. The 47-year-old man arrived at the Pine Rivers Watch House this afternoon, back on Queensland soil, flanked by several detectives. Gavin Rolls remains here at the Pine Rivers Watch House in custody this evening ahead of his first court appearance in Caboolture tomorrow morning. Now, I've spoken with one of his siblings and one of the stepchildren, and they have revealed to me late this afternoon that they had feared for a long time that something tragic like this would happen. Police are yet to determine Gavin's exact alleged motive, but it's understood that more will be revealed in the coming days. Thank you, Anna.
Reby says, have you explained Queensland's similarities to Florida yet? Yeah, so Australia is just the inverse of America. So if you think in America, south is hot, well, south here is cold. And if you go north, it's hot. And then we call Queensland Florida because it's basically the same thing. We have a Tallahassee, we have a Miami, which is like the Gold Coast. We have some more boganish places, which might be like, I don't know, some places on the western side of Florida. Very similar. Yeah, so if you think of Queensland like Florida, you're halfway there. So if you say a Florida man, you can just replace that with a Queensland man and you get the picture. I did find this. Now, this was a couple of months ago. Serial offender challenges refusal of horse trainer license. It says a racing enthusiast with a criminal history spanning 26 years and 3 states has challenged a determination he is not a fit and proper person to hold a thoroughbred training license. Gavin Rolls applied for a review of an internal review decision of Queensland Racing Integrity Commission made in 2022, which confirmed an original decision to decline his application for the license. And they said here, he has an extensive criminal history on 20 separate occasions between 1996 and 2022. He has been convicted of offences in Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia, and on a number of those occasions for multiple offences. These offences include serious assault, aggravated assault, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, whilst armed / in company, and assault or obstruct police officer, DV, contravention of a DV order, breaking into dwelling, forcible entry, willful damage, fraud, false pretenses, make / furnish a statement which is false / misleading, stealing, receive / dispose of stolen property, failure to appear, breach of bail conditions, possessing dangerous drugs, and producing dangerous drugs. He said the 47-year-old who has been sentenced to prison 8 times had filed references that spoke of his passion for horses, capacity for hard work, and general good character. You sure about that? Between 1996 and 2022, he's been charged on 20 separate occasions. You should be careful who you file references for. Yeah, he's a great guy. He only punched me missus, stole me horse, and produced a bunch of meth in me garage. But, you know, he's fine. I would definitely recommend that he have a license. I would be okay with that. He asked me to be a reference or he would beat me up. Reby says, thanks, Potter. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little odd. So I don't know if this is fully connected, but when you search for his name and Queensland, this pops up like that. Let me just double check here. Yeah, it says here, police are investigating whether an argument about belongings led to a man's death after a body was found inside a caravan at a storage facility in Caboolture, north of Brisbane. A 47-year-old man believed to be related to the dead man was charged with murder today. What does it say in this one? He said the 47-year-old who has been sentenced to prison 8 times. I think we're on the right path. I think they might be the same person. So it seems this guy has a hell of a history. And now, along with this giant rap sheet right here, he can now add murder in there somewhere. Like you could fit it in somewhere, probably after domestic violence or, you know, maybe after break and enter. I don't know. Maybe you could just add it in front of all these different types of assault charges. So you could just add it to the front and just be like murder, then 20 types of assault, and then DV and all that. Yeah, 8 times over 20 years he's been convicted. Oh, no. On 20 times between 1996 and 2022, he's been convicted of offences in Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia, and now he has a new one in Queensland for murdering a relative. Can you imagine the hell he would inflict on animals under his care? I think the Queensland Racing Integrity Commission, is that what they're called? Yeah. I think they made a very wise decision about his character. And look at this. This was 8th of October, 2024. Less than 8 weeks later, he murdered someone. So, seems like they made the right choice. Seems like they did. But hey, he's innocent until proven guilty. He has to go through the court of law. You know, well, you never know. You never know. The court sometimes lets people off. Sometimes the evidence is not there. We'll see when he goes to trial. You know, we have to be impartial on YouTube, especially with a case going to court. You know, have to give you both sides of the argument. All right. Let me see what else I can find about this guy. What's his name? Gavin Rolls. Now, if he was a chubby guy, that would be funny. They could be like, we're searching for a chubby guy called Gavin Rolls. That would be fun. I would have 20 jokes for you. Let's see. According to the Courier Mail, man charged with murder after body found in caravan in Caboolture. They're saying the man found dead inside a caravan was allegedly murdered over a trivial property dispute between family. Police say the 47-year-old, believed to be his stepson, has been charged. Dun dun dun. I'm sorry. I should warn you before I do that. I tried to make it smaller and it just got bigger. That's what she said? No. Ping, stop. They say a man has been charged with murder after a 60-year-old man was found dead inside a caravan north of Brisbane. The QPS, or Queensland Police Service, were called to a commercial storage facility at Morayfield Road in Caboolture South about 11:45 a.m. on Sunday, where a man was found dead. The man found dead inside a caravan was allegedly murdered over the trivial property dispute between family. Investigations led police to believe that the man had been assaulted and moved into the caravan earlier that day by another man that was known to him. The victim of the alleged murder can be revealed as a 60-year-old Michael Hegarty, who was found dead in the caravan that was parked at the Caboolture South storage facility. Police will allege the accused left before police arrived and went to New South Wales. Wait, what other state did it say in that racing thing? It said New South Wales, right? Yeah, it did. It said Queensland, New South Wales, and South Australia. We almost got the trifecta. Arriba. Almost got the trifecta. Trigger warning. Yeah, that's right. They say police located the accused Thursday morning, that is today, at a motel in Ballina where he was arrested. So he went on the run and he was like, I'm going to go somewhere. They're never going to find me. I'm going to go to Ballina. Why? I don't know because I can't spell it. So I'm going to go there and I'm going to hide in a motel where I have to show ID and pay on my credit card, but sure, they'll never find me. They'll never find me down here in Ballina. They say Gavin Rolls, 47, has been charged with 1 count of murder and a DV offence linked to the murder and appeared in Ballina local court this morning to face extradition proceedings. Police allege that the Caboolture local was the stepson of the man murdered. Police will allege Mr. Hegarty owned the caravan, and it is understood that there had been disputes between the two men. Oh, there he is again. Dun dun dun. Someone play the Law and Crime jingle. Dun dun. The motive is still being explored at the moment. What do you mean the motive is still being explored? You just told us that they were fighting over the caravan. What do you mean you're still exploring it? Are you worried that there was more caravans that they might have been fighting over? I think you've got the motive just fine. They say one that there may have been an incident over some property that was stored at the location, but we're still investigating, according to the detective. The motive is still under investigation. It was over nothing major. We know that. It was over something trivial, we believe. So you either know that or you believe. Which one is it? It's like, which one? You either know or you believe. They're not the same thing. They say the detective inspector said it was the partner of the deceased man who raised the alarm to police. They say we understand the assault occurred outside of the caravan and we know that both men were in that facility earlier Sunday morning. An assault has occurred and we understand the deceased was placed into the van earlier that day. It came to our attention through the deceased partner who was expecting him home. The deceased didn't make it back home, unfortunately, and she went to look for him. Brutal. I don't know what it would be like to have to go find your partner, dead in a caravan. But yeah, terrible. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why he was like, I'm gonna go to the one place they'll never find me, Ballina. Yeah, I'll show you. Let's go to Caboolture to Ballina. Here, I can show you the map. The map of maps here. So it's not that far away. It's just south of Byron Bay. Down here. So Caboolture's up here. And the storage thing was around here somewhere in Caboolture. And so he decided, I'm going to run really far away, all right? I'm going to run super far away. So he said, you know what? I'm going to go down to Ballina, only 2 hours away, and hide in a motel. They'll never find me. I'm going to blend in with all the hippies and Chris Hemsworth and pretend to be Thor. They'll never discover where I am. So they said he was staying at a motel. There's a few down here. Discovery Parks, Ballina. That is a camper van place. Maybe that's where he took the stolen caravan. What else do we have? The Ramada Hotel. I don't think he could afford the Ramada Inn. They also have the Ballina Manor Boutique Hotel. I don't think you can afford that either. What else we got? Ballina Palms Boutique Motel. Are they just all boutique? Where's the one that's like, we take crack addicts and people who want to rent by the hour and film really sleazy OnlyFans content? Where's that? I want to find that one. Is it this one? Nah, it's a 4-star. It can't be that one. We're looking for like 1 or 2-star accommodation. Is it this one? No, they're 4.8. Can't be that one. No, it's not that one either. I don't know where he stayed. Maybe it's not even listed. It doesn't have any reviews. It's that bad. What about this one? 4.6. It's a 3-star hotel. A perfect stay. I'd be worried about a place that labels themselves perfect. Maybe it was that one. I'm not sure which one it was, but he was down here somewhere in a motel. Top rated. That's what all the girls say. Comfort Inn. Yeah, it's a 4-star. I'm not sure where it was, but somewhere in Ballina. somewhere down here. So yeah, not that far away. He tried to run away. Basically, this is the border here of Queensland and New South Wales. I'm surprised he didn't go to Tweed Heads. You know, he would have fit in. He would have really fit in. You know, his people live there. Yeah, so he kept going further south. Lennox Head. Lennox Head got decimated about 10 years ago. They had a tornado that formed on the water and came ashore and obliterated a bunch of homes on the street here. It came in off the water overnight and just blew away a bunch of homes. Very unfortunate. But yeah, there you go. You can see the Queensland. There you go, 2 hours and 40 minutes away. He only went about 200 kilometers from his crime. You stayed in a Fleabag hotel in Ballina. Tell us all about your OnlyFans weekend. Yeah, it was probably a motel. You're right. He ran out of petrol, maybe. Hey, Marjorie, how are you? They did not find him, no. Did they find him? And have we been just talking absolute rubbish and they found him? Hold on. 15 minutes ago. Let's go past the hour. Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's have a look. News talk. Let me grab one more. I don't see anything like recently, like past hour. Yeah, let's go to the Independent. We'll leave that other story about Caboolture. What are they saying? Cryptic 3 words carved into the bullets used on Thompson revealed. So according to police sources, the 3 words that were carved into the bullets, very interesting, were deny, depose, and defend. Sounds like they may have been related to his job. Apparently, they were carved into the live rounds and shell casings found outside the Hilton Hotel on 6th Avenue, Midtown Manhattan, New York City, where Thompson was gunned down Wednesday morning. Police sources confirmed the chilling message to ABC News and the New York Post, adding that 3 live 9mm rounds and 3 discharged 9mm shell casings were recovered from the scene. Deny, depose, and defend. That is very odd. So depose means to remove from office suddenly or forcefully. Well, he definitely did that. The guy ain't going back to the office. And the other law interpretation is to testify to or give evidence under oath, typically in a written statement when you are deposed. So there you go. Your family's in Ballina? Ballina has come a long way. These days, it's a destination. You should tell your neighbors Tweed Heads about how to do that. Yeah, I just brought that up. I think that is how can you deny that's got anything but something to do with what he did for a living? It really does. It seems like someone was very angry about something to do with the health insurance company. They seem very mad. Let's see. Do we have any updates on? That's an old update, unless she did one this morning. Let's have a listen.
In Midtown Manhattan early this morning, 50-year-old Brian.
Nah, that's the one. We already seen that one. New York mayor attended the Rockefeller Christmas tree lighting ceremony as suspected gunman still on the loose. Yeah. Yeah, apparently they put a whole bunch of new police for this event. They were worried. I don't think you got to worry unless you have like 20 other health insurance CEOs or workers at the event. I think it'll be okay. Let's see. Anything we can work with? I did hear that some people online, some clever cookies on Reddit and Twitter, figured out that his backpack was a photography backpack, and it's only used by people in the photography sort of hobby or work. Like people only know about it if you actually do it. Let me see if I can find that for you. Yes, here. So it's a specific. You can see the backpack here. It's a specific brand. Here it is, right here. It is a what one is it? Peak Design, and it's cost like $279 if you want one, and it's normally used by people that are into photography. So some smart cookies on online were able to figure it out. Could be. Lots of leave has been cancelled at the NYPD. I bet. I bet a lot of people are being called in. Marjorie says it was so brazen. I've been to that hotel several times. It's literally right in the middle of everything. Yeah. Catatonic says his clothes and shoes are pricey as well. Let's have a look. Well, if he's wearing a luxury backpack, maybe he's wearing. What type of jacket do you think that is? Let's have a look. Is it like a what's that brand? Is it Patagonia? They're pretty pricey. I don't have one of those. What is mine? I've got I don't even know what brand. I've got a Kathmandu. So I have a jacket like this, but it's a Kathmandu, not like a Patagonia or some other fancy brand. But yeah. There you go. There's him with his gun and that very visually striking backpack. I can't see a label on the jacket, but maybe someone more clever than me will know. Hermes sneakers, really? Is there? I'm not a fashion guy, so I wouldn't know. But if he really is, if someone was able to figure that out from this screenshot, wow, you really know your fashion. What is it? Let's have a look if we can find one that matches. Hold on. Oh, I see what you're talking about. They do look very similar. I don't know if it is exactly the same, but they've got a similar styling. I see what you're talking about now. It has that sort of wedgy look on the back of it, like that taller heel. I sort of get it. Potter says, I think he must have been staying at the Luxury Collection, which is on that street, the backside of the Hilton. We can have a look in a second. Hold on. What is it called? The Luxury Collection. That's what the ladies call me. Let's see. A Prometheus hoodie. I don't know if that's a hoodie, is it? It's a jacket, right? I don't know if I'd call. It looks more like a jacket in the other photo, unless he took it off. See? That looks like a jacket, but when you go here, that looks like a hoodie. So maybe he took his jacket off? I don't know. Take off your pants and jacket. Yeah, Peak Design backpack. Yeah, we already talked about that. Laura says I could totally wrong, but it feels more of a personal thing, not the insurance. Why would he talk about legal stuff though, like about like deposition and deny? They sound almost like something a health company might do to you in an appeal. So if you appealed a judgment for something like a payout, and they deposed you at a hearing, because what was the words again? Like depose, deny, Ping's got a great memory. It's fantastic. Razor sharp for 40 years old. Can't remember the words I spoke 5 minutes ago. Hold on. I got too many links. All right, up here. Brazen attack, fled on an e-bike. Yeah, we know that. There's the shooting. Actually, that's a good map. So he went through riding bike into the park at Center Drive. Interesting. Yeah, deny, depose, and defend. So you would defend yourself in court. You would deny any wrongdoing, and you might be deposed. I don't know. That's where my mind goes, but we do a lot of true crime. So, of course, the first thing I think of is a court hearing. But it is interesting if they mean depose in the other meaning, like to remove him from office. They did that job. They did that. Reby says, so the shooter has money. So who would that play into a disgruntled customer who is not given coverage? But maybe it's not for them. Maybe it's not for their health insurance. Even some rich young people may have like mothers or something that, are sick or whatever. They did not. They did not, Dr. Michelle. They did not. Yes, on 85th Street. I think we showed that on the afternoon show. I think I can show you that screen grab. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that screenshot from earlier. Aha, here it is. So there you go. They're saying this is him on West 85th Street. And there's some more here too. So this one's on the other side of the park. We looked at the park earlier. Then this one as well. Him riding the bike. And there's him, shooting. So that's the last one I've seen is this particular one of him riding down or riding up the street. There we go. I can put that up for you. I just want to know where he went to after this. We had a look. There's not too many places you can go. You sort of run out of land. I mean, it's a very busy place. There's a lot of buildings, but you sort of run out of free area. So I don't know. Do you think he entered a building and is now hiding? Do you think a friend picked him up? I would like to know your opinion. Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. That's where my mind went with it. All right, let me see. If it's a personal thing, why wait till he goes to New York when he lives in where does he live? In Montana or something? That's not right. He lives somewhere in the country. Like, why would you wait till he goes to New York? Why would you not attack him in his home state if it's personal and you're around him all the time? Why would you wait till he goes to a conference in New York? Minnesota, that's it. I don't know why I thought I don't know why I thought Montana. Minnesota. Why would you wait and wait to go to the busiest city in the world in New York, where it's so condensed, it's very built up, there's a lot of people. Wouldn't you want to shoot him somewhere where you might actually be able to get away with it for more than 24 hours? I guarantee they'll have this guy within probably the end of today. Probably by the end of today, either they'll have him or they'll know who it is and they'll be hot on his trail. Guarantee you. It's like one of the most surveyed cities in the world in New York. Dyslexia DIY says, maybe a sign of the times to come. Are you saying that we should all go shoot CEOs that we don't like? That guy that owns Netflix, man, he took away my favorite show. We can all solve it together. No, I'm not It's not a call to arms. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. Stand down. Let me see if I can find. All right. Let me see if I can grab an update for you. Let's see. All right. Let's see if we got something that has more. Yeah, 1 hour ago. Let's head to ABC News.
Breaking news this late evening in the shocking murder of a healthcare CEO in Midtown Manhattan. Sources telling ABC News tonight words were etched into the shell casings found at the scene. Deny, defend, depose. Detectives are trying to figure out whether they were meant as a message. Here's ABC senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky.
A gunman opening fire in the heart of New York City, firing several rounds, a targeted execution of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, leaving the 50-year-old dead on the street.
Every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
Thompson, in town from Minnesota, was walking to an annual meeting with investors at the Hilton Hotel in Midtown when the horror began to unfold. The insurance executive alone, no security detail.
The victim here, he was walking with purpose, not worried, obviously, about anything, right in the middle of the sidewalk. And the video shows the shooting happening right there with a bystander actually trying to flee and get out of the way.
Shortly before 7 a.m., a masked gun.
I would say this for the people who think it's a personal attack. I would say this. In the final moments of his life, wouldn't you want him to face you and know it was you? Why would you attack him from behind? Wouldn't you want him to know it's you? Like you'd have that gun right in his face, and his final moments on Earth, he knows that you killed him. Not shoot him in the back and he dies crouching over and maybe got a glimpse of you in your like hoodie with your mask. And like if this was truly personal, I think you'd want to have like the last laugh, so to speak, between the two of you. I don't know why you would do that then, but hey, I've never killed anyone, so maybe that's what they do. Yeah, that band is terrible. I mean, they only had like one good CD in the 80s. I mean, oh, you mean like the figurehead people? Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Gunman in the freezing cold was lying in wait before opening fire.
The shooter steps onto the sidewalk from behind the car. He ignores numerous other pedestrians, approaches the victim from behind, and shoots him in the back. The shooter then walks toward the victim and continues to shoot. It appears that the gun malfunctions as he clears the jam and begins to fire again. From watching the video, it does seem that he's proficient in the use of firearms, as he was able to clear the malfunctions pretty quickly.
The weapon appears to have been outfitted with a silencer.
That's him, when he was running.
Amar Abdulmullah says he saw the shooting unfold from inside his car.
Then I hear the shot, And when I look at the guy with a gun, like, the silent gun, got like a black gun.
The gunman fleeing after shooting Thompson in his back and his right calf.
And I saw him after he shot him, he ran across the street.
EMTs responding to the scene and racing him to the hospital, but it was too late. After the shooting, the killer made his escape on foot through this alleyway. Eventually, he hopped on a bike and pedaled off towards Central Park. Surveillance camera footage captured the suspect on that bike. The suspect then headed up 6th Avenue and was last seen entering Central Park.
The shooter appears to be a light-skinned male. He's wearing a light brown or cream-colored jacket, a black face mask, black and white sneakers, and a very distinctive gray backpack.
This is not somebody who's an expert, certainly not somebody who's a trained killer, assassin, a military type.
Now, a massive manhunt is underway.
I think it takes a lot of balls to go on TV and say that this guy wasn't a proficient military type or police officer or, ex Coast Guard or whatever. We've seen people do that before and, do these type of murders. Potter says MSN, about the insider trading thing. Yeah, I did see that. I can show you the article here. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was facing a DOJ investigation and lawsuit when he was shot dead at an investor conference. They say last year, the DOJ launched a probe into whether the private company of the nation's biggest insurer, led by Thompson, was unfairly restricting competitors and running a monopoly. They say in May, the City of Hollywood Firefighters Pension Fund initiated a complaint against Thompson and other executives, accusing the CEO of failing to tell investors about the federal probe before he unloaded over 31% of his stock, taking in $15.1 million in proceeds. That is insider trading. If you have any information that would manipulate the stock price and you act on it before the wider public is known, that is literally the definition of insider trading. They say here in legal documents, the fund said Thompson and other company execs sold over 117 million worth of United Health common stock during the 4-month period when insiders knew about the federal antitrust investigation, but the public did not. That's insider trading. But you know what? They get away with it all the time. There's been heaps of cases in Australia too where they've said, oh, you had inside information where it benefited only the CEOs and the fat cats and nothing happened to them. They're like, oh, we can't really prove it. It was just coincidental. So we're just going to let them go. We have no real proof. And they just get away with it. And they go on their yachts and go to Spain. Yeah, they do. If Ping ever becomes rich, I promise, I will still be Ping, the guy here that, will spend 4 days looking for a bargain and probably give more of my money away than I ever spend. Because that's like how I've been my whole life. Dyslexia DIY. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying here about, but yeah, totally. I agree. They say here the Wall Street Journal reported in February that federal investigators had been interviewing healthcare industry representatives in sectors where United Health competes, including doctor groups. The investigators have asked about issues including certain relationships between the company's insurance unit and its Optum Health Service arm, which owns physician groups among other assets. Yeah, so he was a piece of crap. We all figured this already. I love how his wife came out and she's like, he was the most generous man I ever knew. He was the kindest man, but he also stole money from the company investors and denied a bunch of people life-saving treatment. But he was the most generous guy I ever, that's why I married him. You didn't marry him for his pineapple. You married him for his portfolio. Here. United Health was notified of the DOJ antitrust investigation. They say Hemsley uploaded 121,515 shares or unloaded almost 121,515 shares of United Health common stock for over 65 million in proceeds. Wow. Hemsley continued his insider trading on December 5th for another 36 million in proceeds. Defendant Thompson also dumped his shares, taking 15.1 million in proceeds on February 16, 2024. All that money, that's money that comes from, people who have to pay their copays or their insurance at the hospital. It's where they pay their premiums. Like, it all comes from them. And these guys, it's the LA Rams. You remember when they won their Super Bowl ring and they used to have that kind of mantra? It was excuse my French, but they used to say fuck the picks. Remember that? They would just trade all their picks for like star players just to get the ring. That's sort of like these guys. They're just like F everyone else. We'll sell our stock to make sure we get paid. Not you guys get paid, we get paid. That's the way they do it. Here you go. You can see how the shares bounced around when they sold massive chunks of it off. These are the deflections after dropped. Even these small drops are worth quite a lot of money when you have so many shares that are in like the millions. Doesn't seem like a lot of money, like $20 or whatever. But you spread that out over millions of shares. It's a lot of money. Yeah, wow, look at that. It crashed. News of the DOJ investigation becomes public. It dropped, what is this? Like a fifth of its total stock price. A fifth. Yet these guys all sold at the peak of the recent market. There you go. And now he's dead on a New York sidewalk. Don't know, you tell me. They say the Wall Street Journal also reported that the DOJ was examining the company's Medicare billing practices to see if doctors are aggressively characterizing their patients' illnesses to wrongly increase payments from the government. They say Thompson was fatally shot in the chest and leg in a targeted attack by a masked man. That's how I hope to go. A guy in a mask comes up, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Barney, and then they pull out a gun. I want it to be somewhat entertaining for people. They say witnesses said the suspected gunman was waiting outside the hotel before the shooting and knew which door Thompson was going to emerge from before shooting him at point blank range. Brutal. He was slated to speak at an investor meeting at the Hilton Hotel soon after the shooting. According to a release from United Healthcare on Tuesday, he would announce the company's hugely profitable 2025 financial outlook, including expected revenues of up to $450 billion. There you go. I heard some people today, right? They were, they're like, oh my God, the CEO got shot. And then everyone's like, oh, I didn't see the guy. Who's that guy? I never saw him. Wendy asks, it seems like a huge excess. Everyone else is pinching pennies, right? Well, that's inaccurate. I don't know. That's what it says there. Potter says, I heard he got 11 million a year. Is that true? But he only bought a house worth 1 million. He probably had a lot of it on paper, or he divested it into other funds or whatever, the way they get around their tax. So often these guys don't have a lot of cash. They got a lot of assets or things tied up in trust accounts or overseas and blah blah blah. It's to stop them getting absolutely owned on tax. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of people who are like, oh, yeah, we definitely want to catch the guy. I heard he was in Jamaica. You should go look there. It might take you a while, but I definitely think he's over there somewhere. I've seen more than one comment say something like that. Cops on the scene. These cops here, they're all like, there's some words on those bullets. We're going to rush this to CSI. They'll tell us what it means. What's this? A suspect. Yeah, I heard this. All right, let's have a talk about this, about the CEO shooting. The NYPD announced a $10,000 reward from Crime Stoppers. I saw a bunch of commentary today that said, how come after he was shot and killed, they instantly had a $10,000 reward? But there's been heaps of other people killed this year where their families are still fighting to have a reward added to their case. And it's been months and there's no leads, as where half the bloody city saw this guy get shot. And they're all like, we have the money for you. We have $10,000. Give us the information. We can do that. Yet there's other people whose cases desperately need information or people to call in, and they're like, if you call in today, you may receive a reward of $75. Yes, you too can risk your life to solve this cold case in Mississippi, and we will give you a $25 Starbucks voucher for risking your life. Yes, we could do that. Call today, call Crime Stoppers, and go in the running to win that gift voucher. Your call is very important to us. I think it's Crime Stoppers who put up the $10,000 reward. Potter, I'm not sure what you were saying was inaccurate, but let me know. We'll have a look at it. But there you go. Yeah, I saw a lot of people very unimpressed that, within a few hours, a $10,000 reward got put up. And it's almost like, why? He was a rich white guy. Quick, we need a reward. If that was a black dude, they would have been like, our department has, we're very underfunded right now. We like to do what we can, but it has to go through a series of, decisions made by the board. At some point in the future, when we feel it's appropriate, we will offer a new reward for this particular case. Potter says reward money in America is so bad. In Oz, we have much higher rewards. We do. I can show you just one state. A lot of these, or I think all of these, are $1 million rewards for information on cases in New South Wales, Australia. All of these have a $1 million reward. If you can solve it, if you can give the information, you can get $1 million for any of these. Any of them. If you can give any information on these ones, you can get $750,000. This one, $500,000 in this group. $500,000. This one, 350 grand. This one, 300,000. This one, $250,000. All of these. This one, 200K. This one, 150. These ones, 100,000. $100,000 reward. All of these, and this one's 50 grand. Look, these are all got high money rewards on them. All of them. This is just one state in Australia, but a lot of them, the majority, have $1 million reward. The biggest section here is for $1 million. Could change your life. The assassination of the Turkish consul general and his bodyguard. Yes. If you have information on that, you should come forward. I don't know if anyone watching this show ever would, but maybe you do. Maybe. So there you go. $1 million. Wendy says, I wonder who steps in his CEO position. The next guy to get shot. That's who. Potter says, they said he knew which door he was coming out from and was waiting. He was waiting for him to go into the hotel, not coming. Oh, I didn't say that. They said that. Dyslexia said, oh my gosh, I want to be a private eye. Sure. You could do a private eye application and course and run around with like a little notebook and like a magnifying glass and a cute hat. Sure. Wendy asks, does a higher reward get results in solving crimes? If I remember correctly, no one has ever claimed a $1 million reward in New South Wales. I'm pretty sure that's correct. No one has claimed a $1 million reward so far. Yeah, they just use AI. We had one today, and they said the word foot gay. And I was like, what the hell is a foot gay? And they're saying the foot gay showed the killer riding on his bicycle. And I was like, that's a pretty rude word to call someone who filmed the killer. You shouldn't call people foot gay. It's, it seems almost, like you're attacking their sexuality. I don't think you should do that. People in there spell checking. I don't think we should be using a word like that. All right. Let's see what else I have. By the way, we have that uncut footage of the shooting if you haven't seen it. I can play it for people who have not seen it before. Let's go here. This is your warning in case you're afraid of pixels and blurry images. If you are, just wait 2 seconds. It'll be over soon.
Check. Dispatch 25th floor, the closet is open.
Like he was going to get a coffee. He's like, I have to cross the road. The coffee shop's over there.
Check. Dispatch 25th floor, the closet is open.
In the eyes. At least that's what I would think anyway. I haven't been to the Gaylord Indian restaurant in Melbourne, Chinatown. Although I have eaten, what is that thing called? It's called a gay time. So in Australia we have an ice cream called a gay time. I'm not kidding, we really do. We have an ice cream called a gay time. It is a source of much celebration and amusement at the same time. It's actually called a golden gay time. Can you believe it? It should be a gay icon. Everyone should dress as a golden gay time at the Mardi Gras. Because that would be hilarious. Here you go. It's literally called a golden gay time. So, bite into that, very, very large golden gay time. Potter says, what is Jacinta Ardern's hubby's name? I have no idea. Is she... I don't know. His name is Clark Gayford. Oh, alright. That's an interesting name. Dyslexia DIY says, a person sitting in the car must have seen his eyes. There was a guy who they believe witnessed the entire thing that they were supposed to be interviewing, and they want to find the woman. I'll play that video again very quickly. Look to the right side. There's a woman, or I believe that's what they were saying in the media reports, that they think it's a lady. And she runs away when the shooting gets underway. She, as far as I know, hasn't come forward as of yet, but they really want to speak to her because she was right in front of the shooter. They are still looking for her to come forward. That's right. Everyone loves a golden gay time in Australia. It's an icon. It's an icon. Clark Gayford. Thank you, Yvonne. How are you? Good to see you. Hey. Oh. Yeah, I can't say I know much about Jacinda Ardern. Who is she? Is she the New Zealand Prime Minister? Or she was the Prime Minister? Yeah, Jacinda Ardern. She retired, right? Yeah, former Prime Minister of New Zealand. Yeah, she left like last year or something. There are vegan golden gay times in case you have too much meat in your diet already. Potter says she was... Yeah, I thought she did all right. I think she sort of lost it at the end, though. I think that's why she retired. I think she lost her magic touch. But for many years, she did a good job. But near the end, she went a little off the tracks. But hey, all politicians do. Potter says they are not very good. Really? I haven't had a golden gay time, even the normal one, in I don't know, 20 years, something like that. I haven't had one in a long time. I had a donut that had the crumbs on it though, not long ago. All right, let me go here. All right, we'll have to wrap up in a second. Let me see what else I have for you. By the way, we were talking about those abduction attempts in Melbourne. I'm going to bring you that again. This is really frightening that this has happened so many times in the last couple of weeks.
Among parents and children after 4 alarming kidnapping attempts in less than 4 weeks in Melbourne. Let's go live to Rory Campbell in Melbourne. Rory, good morning. Do police believe these events are linked?
They don't, Anne, meaning there are 4 separate predators wanted by police for attempting to lure children into white vans over the last 2.5 weeks. These approaches have happened across Melbourne, from Tullamarine in the northwest to Blackburn, Doncaster and Boronia in our east. In one instance, the predator was brazen enough to tell the 11-year-old boy he was approaching he'd been asked by the boy's mother to give him a lift home. The other children approached are a 14-year-old girl, a 15-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy. All 4 children were able to get away, in some cases running to safety in nearby parks or shopping centres. Police will be holding a news conference today. These attempted abductions, clearly something they want people to be aware of. Anne.
Rory Campbell in Melbourne. Thanks a lot, Rory. The lawyers for convicted wife killer Chris Dawson have launched an appeal to overturn his conviction for having an unlawful sexual relationship with a teenage girl in 1980. A judge last...
Don't worry about Chris Dawson. He ain't going anywhere. It was misogyny. What do you mean? Jacinda Ardern? I have no idea. I just know that near the end something went wrong. I don't follow New Zealand politics. Potter says, I was passed by a man in a white van while walking this evening and he slowed down. I almost screamed. Thought you were hot. No. I'm surprised he didn't wolf whistle at you. He was like, oh, I'm going to pick this bird up. I'm going to take her home. But it is concerning. 4 alleged attempts at abduction in white vans in Melbourne in just 3 weeks, all around the same age group between 10 and 15. No younger, no older. Seems a little strange. Yeah, hey, maybe he was 75 and he's like, oh, I found a young one. I wanted to bring you this as well. By the way, this came out of nowhere. For like days, the Victorian police wouldn't give us an update. They were asked about it on Monday. They said there was nothing they could really tell us. And then bang, this afternoon, they arrested a Footscreen man. Michael Chalmers has been charged with the woman's murder at the Melbourne brothel. Here's a photo of him. Very charming individual. Here he is. Apparently he has a broken neck or something that forces him to walk around with his head tilted backwards and a vape and a drink in his hand. I don't know, it just must be a disability. They're saying here a woman was murdered and her body lay inside a Melbourne brothel for 2 days until it was discovered. The 62-year-old's body was found inside the 149 Rainbow Garden brothel on Cowper Street in Footscray by police after 8 p.m. last Friday. Police allege she was murdered in the early hours of November 27th by the 35-year-old Footscray man Michael James Chalmers. He was arrested on Wednesday afternoon and charged with murder. Dressed in a white t-shirt, Mr. Chalmers faced the Melbourne Magistrates Court on Thursday for a brief filing hearing. Details of the allegations against Mr. Chalmers were not aired, and he was not required to enter a plea. The magistrate noted it was a case that included DNA and CCTV evidence. The magistrate redacted the alleged victim's name from the charge sheets, and police also opposed the information being made available to the media. Mr. Chalmers was remanded in custody until the case returns to court on April 24th, 2025. So it's going to be a long time before we hear anything else about what is alleged to have happened on the 27th of November and why that 62-year-old died inside of of that brothel. I don't know if they ever updated for that guy. No. Hold on. I checked earlier, but I don't know if I don't see an update. Last update was ages ago. And I've already shown the two people. Hold on. Let me go back to the chat. So, Miss Dobrilla was murdered by the homeowner, not the guy that she broke in with. At least that's what the police allege. The police allege that when they broke in there, Dobrilla, she was with the guy the two people that broke in, and they were intruders into that property. She hit the homeowner with a baton, and in retaliation and defending his property and his roommate, the occupant killed her with a gun. And then in retaliation, the guy that broke in with Dobrilla, he shot and killed the homeowner in retaliation. That's the last thing I heard of it. Oh, Morty Alec Dobrilla. Isn't her last name Dobrilla? Or am I getting two cases confused? Oh, no, sorry. Sorry, you got me confused. Yeah, Charlaise. Yeah, sorry. No, Dobrilla was the woman in Morty Alec. Yeah, sorry, you got me messed up on two different cases. But no, the Rye one, I don't know anything else. The one in Morty Alec, they did release the name of that guy. Hold on. Pretty sure they released it last week. He's a 38-year-old St. Kilda man. I'm pretty sure they released the name of both of them. Hold on, let me just double check. I thought they did release the name. I know they released her name. Her name was the first one to come out due to the female murder statistics. But all right, now I'm confused. I swear I saw both their names in the paper. All right. Now I'm a little confused. Did they redact his name? I thought his name was public knowledge, but I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, he's dead. He killed her, then killed himself, and ended the life of a very, very nice young lady, and unfortunately added to the statistics for 2024 of men hurting women, especially in a DV environment. He was the estranged ex-husband of Sandra, so their relationship was over, and as far as I know, he wasn't supposed to be contacting her. That they had quite a volatile relationship, and yeah, I'm not sure what made him kill her, but there really is no excuse to hurt a woman like that, especially someone you're supposed to be supposed to love. Even if she is an ex or a divorce or whatever, there's no excuse. Yeah, I don't. Wow, I didn't hear this one either. Apparently on Monday, John Sheffield, 55, allegedly beat his live-in carer, a 62-year-old Kenneth McGee, with a hammer at their home in Everwyn Drive, Werribee. McGee died in hospital, and Sheffield was charged with his murder. I didn't even hear about that one at the time. Apparently, there were 7 suspected homicides in Melbourne in less than a week over the last 7 days. It's been a brutal week in Melbourne. I don't see Sandra's killer. Ex-husband, ex-partner, I can't remember. Sorry guys. It's been a while since I looked at the story. Yeah, the Herald Sun. Here, I'll go to the Herald Sun article for it. Here, Sandra Dobrilla's body was discovered at her home in Mordialloc this week alongside that of a man she'd only met a few months ago. They say cruelly her life was taken from her on Thursday by a man she'd met months ago in an apparent murder S-word. She was among 3 Melbourne women killed by violence in November alone. Obviously, a obsessive, just treating women like objects, which is, we really need to get rid of men who think like that. Women are human and have the same rights as men. Just because they may not be physically as strong or whatever doesn't deny them the same, life, the same respect and all that. It's ridiculous. You've got to stop it. Got to kick these men up the nuts and get rid of them. Yeah, they said the pair became romantically involved only a few months ago. It is unknown if they had separated. I heard they had separated, and that he had been violent to her in the past, but I can't verify any of that. Mr. Brilla moved to Australia a few years ago with her then husband. She has connections to Italy and Croatia. Her family and friends are reeling at the news of her killing. I think there may have been some cross-contamination in the early days of this reporting, because I could have sworn I saw that it was her ex-husband that killed her. Now they're saying it's a guy she had only been dating a few months. So I think there must have been some cross-contamination. Like when you get a breaking news, sometimes the information is not fully correct, or people jump to assumptions based on some information they know, but then it's not, they find out later it's not correct. I could have sworn I saw it reported that it was her ex-husband. So that's where, I last saw it too. But yeah, a man she'd only met a few months ago. A man treating her like some sort of thing he could keep or whatever, take the life of. So pretty horrible. Yeah, Charlize. I still don't have a name for who the person is on the run. The Vic poll gave an update yesterday, and they just basically said the same thing. There is no update. I don't know, like, I'd be concerned if a dude was on the run after killing someone and breaking into their home, but hey, I'm not Victorian police. I don't have any new update besides what I've already given to you on that one. Let's see. I know it's Charlize or Charlaise. I'm just trying to see if there's any update on it. Murder in Rye. Here. The victim in the home was named Jack Gilmore. The other person's name, the female, her name was, Charlize Hayder is the way it's spelled. It's very odd the way they're framing this. They say intimate final post of young female aerialist killed alongside a tradie in mysterious late night break-in is revealed as new details emerge about her troubled past. This is her here. This was Charlize or however you pronounce her name. They called her Charlie. And there's another photo of her. But she looked a lot better when she was the aerialist. Look at that. That's her when she didn't have all the tattoos and, I don't know, was doing sport or fitness as her hobby. According to some of these reports, she had an OnlyFans account and she was selling content on it. And there's her on the, what do they call this ribbon thing where they do all the flips and they hold themselves up with just a ribbon, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't, and there's the male who was at the property, Jackson Gilmore. But yeah, other than that, I don't. They still haven't released the identity of who she was with when they broke into that property. And then she was killed at the property when the homeowner shot and killed her. And then the guy that they can't find turned the gun on the homeowner for killing her and killed him. So, still no update though. There is a school in Paran for like circus type thing. All good. I pay for them so you guys don't have to. I pay for the Herald and the Age and like 4 other papers. Let's see. Circus school in Paran. There is too. It's called the National Institute of Circus Arts. Cool. I didn't know about this. Yeah. It's called, there you go. They do all those rope things and unicycle. Pretty cool. Maybe that's where she trained. I don't know. Pretty awesome. I had no idea it was in Paran. There you go. Oh my god. That's awesome. I can't do any of that, so 6:26 a.m. Maryland Landers. I got to go eat dinner. It's 10:30. I haven't eaten yet. I didn't eat lunch. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I just keep working on true crime. I should probably do that before it gets too late. No, we went live about an hour and a half ago. Oh, I don't know that one. I can't remember. You'll have to let me know. Yeah, we've been on for about an hour and a half. Give me 1 second. I just want to check one thing and then I'll get out of here. All right. That's it for the for today's thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat. I stopped the first show, went out. I had to go do some things for the trip next week. And then I came home and I went back live again to give you guys updates. Thank you. Hey Betty C. Good to see you guys. By the way, for the people who have not entered the raffle yet, you can do so by using these links in the donation message, and we're giving that away next Friday. Next Friday, we're raffling off a 1-of-1 prototype Nights with Ping hoodie for one lucky winner. And the way you enter is send a donation to that thing, and I'll give you an entry for every $5. So I would appreciate it. It would help a lot. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back on tomorrow for more true crime. Hopefully, by the time I come back in the morning, we will know more about what happened in New York. Thank you, Catatonic. I appreciate it. You have to tell me who got it because I can't see it for some reason. But you'll have to tell me. Was it Marilyn Landis? Is that who got it? You'll have to tell me who it got gifted to so I can say thank you. Yeah, good night. Thank you for the membership. I really do appreciate it. It's very, very kind. Oh, Potter got it? Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing that for Potter. Oh, Kiki Rose got it? Is she here? Hey, Kiki. Oh, Kiki Rose got it. Kiki, it's good to see you. If you're hiding somewhere, hiding deep within the chat, hides a Kiki Rose. She's waiting. She'll get you. You wait. Yeah, night everyone. I'll see you. I hope you have a great day. With everyone else, I'm sure there'll be a lot more streamers on by the time the news cycle starts ramping up at around 9 a.m. local time in America. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back. I'll see you for the late show tomorrow. The latest show in true crime. Good night, everyone. Bye. Bye-bye. See you later. Good night. You have to go. You can't stay here. You have to go. Okay. Bye.